Yenshi a discussion as yes special budget budget I de buy and the sports element a woman no eno ene ye hwe yenim se yenya omu nyina wa homa ne so hwane wa homa ne so okay okay nti ye betie the minister no ekaye on sports budget no the okaye in fact the wo budget no mu no ene the ono akaye no ho asem ena ye kan enti boy na yentie number there.
The speaker, an amount of 200 million Ghana cedis has also been allocated for the construction of mini stadiums in 3 regions. Mr. Speaker, again an amount of 150 million has been allocated for the procurement of fire tenders and assorted fire equipment. And finally, Mr. Speaker, an amount of 150 million Ghana cedis has been allocated for the Black Stars to participate in the World Cup.
Enti wei ena minister no ekaye okaniema mienu eniema mienu enokaye allocation for mini stadiums ewo 3 regions 1 regions no ama ena afin so allocation for the Blasters World Cup participation or allocating 150 million Ghana cedis. And o convert here in dollar terms, almost plus $13 million dollars, plus $13 million dollars. Eno allocate here. Yenimunsu se 2026 Black Queens ebeko WAFCON ewo Morocco oma qualify ombeko. Yenimunse sa 2026 na so Commonwealth Games. Ena afin so other sporting activities ewo ho eno no eho budget ama yebusa mu no omo kire se the fact se wa moso no en kire se omo planning for Rosamo memo akwaba ebadwumadi so first of all wo mibusa o se sports budget no wo views on the sports budget are any day
Kofi me da se en se ye nsuade on my Ghana and you say we get excited by a lot of things. But ye nye yadwin say ye besua bibi efi ni etwemu kono. Why would you want to single out the Black Stars to start with? And that is my problem. Already no, the vibe has always been that yasoso Black Stars for shododo. I say on my numunu Black Stars in Kuana yeni kohu for reasons best known to omwa omoyesano. It is a sports that, look, I have had issues. Initially, President Koma in the State of the Nation address, we didn't even hear anything about the Black Queens. We don't hear anything. I always say we shouldn't cherry pick or hand pick, say, yeah, friendly pabako, yeah, fat team nebako, yeah, we, because it is. You have just mentioned it, say, in 2026, we have a lot of fund needed activities. Black Stars here, just one of it. Black Stars here, just one of it. But between the Black Stars and the Black Queens, who should be given the attention? Black Queens have not gone to the World Cup since 1997. So since 2007, sorry. The last time I called 2007 was in China. We call Bibium, and we've been struggling. Say you call Morocco and say you call women's AFCON. Didn't we see what the Black Queens did? And as I say, yeah, pa Quenya say you 2027 World Cup no, and you qualify for the women's AFCON or Morocco. Fair, there may be a budget for it. But Shaniama Omoko Morocco by an SEC. The at a say man for yesika mayen I am more yen. So for me, if we wanted to make a case, whoever advised the minister to go and mention the Black Stars should have gone to say we are using this opportunity to give an assurance. Say Black Queens for all your interests will be taken care of. And more because Yajitumu say. Senior Black Stars are qualified for 2026 World Cup. No. yɛbɛboa ama mo nso mayɛ den ma qualify for 2027 World Cup. Ɛno na nkyɛ mem da bia meka me say yɛn ane yɛpɛ ɛne yɛpia Black Stars ɛkɔto ɔtan kuruwam because we create the impression say Black Stars hɔnom na sɛ sika bi wɔ hɔnom enti obi akɔ a that is the impression that we create and na edge hini ewo amanfo bebre adwene mu but ohwɛ mu pa ɛyɛ ana ntesa ne ɛtɔ so mienu Prince next year nyame yɛ adoma Ghana hosti African Athletics Championships. The African Athletics Championships me cheche mu ama ye nimu no yate ase a ɛte sɛ ye hosti AFCON. The African Athletics Championship.
It is AFCON.
It is AFCON. We are say a baby ha afena nyinara obia eba aba be si akan
top athletes.
Aje gold. Say African Games na ye hosti ye no. It is African Olympic Games. Ye nyina ye hu ni e course.
Yeah.
We didn't really budget and plan for it. A drew penso be no, and that is how come people use those opportunities to do things that fan tomra kwa musika sikadie because at the end of the day pentem so sing na me de Rosalind Kofabra na makwa Kofaba I don't do due diligence. Nobody will be on the spur of the moment into no ye nyina ye pentema because it is capital intensive. One of the first things I may bisa about Fuseni because na many omo na wo ya wonja. Asema me bisa one say mujitu mu say so on mine no yaje penny say ye beso mu because enye bibia obi betua participation fee. Sene AFCON ye or my oba no metues can ye wo host no when I will provide for all the incentives no. Ya so ya crowd say ye betumi aye. And so what is the budget? And I'm thinking saying that would have been a fair opportunity for say ya budget and ya kwan so ya military way recruitment any provision of equipment ya even with provision of facilities ya so fine bia the other international so what is the sports budget for these critical or major activities forget about the Commonwealth Games they say there's always the consolidated budget at your bedroom. Don't forget next year so you call World Relay Athletics Championships Athletics Relay Championships yenim say yeah man be qualifier now so I'm qualifier but these are things that for me singling out the Black Stars and saying that this is how much we are spending on them for the World Cup. I thought that we should just have kept quiet and talked about the fact that we will provide adequate funding to support all our national teams that will go for international competition.
No, but we all know, say, the World Cup and the Black Stars at the World Cup are big. So it will be it will be out of place.
No, what I'm saying is that why do we treat them as their special breeze? Is it a special project? It is not. You create this impression because call AFCON, they'll come and talk about the Black Stars. We all agree Black Stars is the biggest and largest selling point. Look, Black Stars say about game or Ghana. You see how everybody is falling over themselves, trying to grab a ticket to go and watch the Black Stars play. We do understand. But nasa woman no obi ye penyi no obi ni made no that doesn't mean say you do that to spite omana akan because omana akan so almost yede almost bo mo modern. And Prince, knowing the background and the history of what people have seen and associated the Black Stars with in Chepi and people say people have gone to associate with the Black Stars because of Sikedi. We've seen the Black Stars and all the other things that has happened. I am one of the biggest fan and supporters of the Black Stars. But what I'm saying is, we should not put them unnecessarily in harm's way. My man phone two or many see Black Stars and so my name see I can be. It is an opportunity for people to go and squander money again. They do it like everybody else. Who call tournament? You present a budget.
Yeah.
What do program line up ever? You present a budget, and then the budget is approved. It goes through the processes of approval. It is approved and you are told, say, so bring the money. What is, yanko bida. If it was 2006, na yanko World Cup da, na yanko bida, and you know, yes, dispensation no so yenim ye besi enti no ye de sika bi to ho no mama Black Stars enti no this is it. That is fine. But we've gone consecutively for how many World Cups?
This will be our 5th World Cup.
What has changed? No bi anyi manu si bone se mempese ye be prepare omo. But in the same vein na ye pese ye be hu the kind details of the preparation. So out of the 150 million
Ghana
cedis,
cedis.
sign ye de ma Black Queens. No mo so mo dey prepare for WAFCON. Send ye be ye omo kodu ho a omo betumi qualify for 2027 World Cup. And I train amoma qualify wi. E den ye dey to ho ama ya prepare yen elite athletes no. Amoma Commonwealth Games. No ma kwaji gold and no ma finish on the podium. Ama ye podium finish. Because Commonwealth Games is also a very big one. It is the League of Commonwealth Nations
Yeah.
And we are going to participate. So for me, I don't have a problem making the allocation. But perhaps if you can't mention all the other things, there was no need for us to mention the Black Stars. Being specific, say, this is how much. Is it because everybody talks about the Black Stars? Is it because people are excited about Black Stars going to the World Cup? We should
maybe by qualifying, we are guaranteed of $15 million.
That is the point. But my point is that it is not our fault. And yet Black Queens for our fault to say women's football doesn't attract money. Let me use this analogy if I'm making sense. Who of you now ma eko university obi any my dear pa okoye ni PhD enti oko obi so wo university afa na oko. Would you say moya family meeting na o de beto o say no esan say Kofi kwa akoye PhD enti no Kofi sika anka afi ye nyina ye de beye no wo de ne de wo die ni ba mo amaka ni nyina no wo se me moso
o pe bia no aba come and justify why you need that money around the table, even in that small nuclear family, no. Prince, what do you think will happen? As a yench,
say me Christo na what the attitude me na me nye brefua. I will start praying say Kofi kwa amonya den.
Monkoyade.
That is the point. I have seen somewhere even football now, and I premise this on experiences. 2015, you call African Games Brazzaville. Black Queens Air final against Cameroon. Some of the Ghana delegation teammates were praying say Black Queens be Lucy because the perception is that Omani says sikawo football hododo Emma Black Queens and these are issues. It's if somebody has to always say, and people always say, "Na Black Stars for any extra one at the detriment of all the others." I think it is about time we took our eyes off. We took that tag off the Black Stars and say, "Oh, and our Black Stars and our Black Stars." We should let them. We should treat them like we treat all our other children. Ghana cannot renege or turn their backs on them. But you either make room for everybody else or you just make them also go through, because at the end of the day, it is the same process they will go through. They will have to also present a program, present a budget, go and defend those budgets before the monies are released. Why? What is so special for us to...
Sir, we blasters, they input the allocation, they will hold it, and to be on baby, and they will do it within the...
No, what I'm saying is...
Because the last time we checked, if no crown for on budget for the blasters preparation and come out.
And America said, it is a budget that you are making accommodation for, allocation for. Why would you make allocation for a team or a group that doesn't struggle to get the attention and the resources? And not say anything, don't say that you are going to give us the money. But give that assurance that, Black Queens for, we saw what happened in recent times. And we were all saying there was no money. To forestall future occurrences, your needs would also be adequately catered for. I always say that when I come to the table, as a woman, knowing where I'm coming from, I always ask for equity and not equality. Equity because physically because of how Nyankopon born me, I can't mean to me yet. But what can you do to help me to be able to do it? There be a simple analogy. yɛgyina wall akyi na yɛhwɛ ball ɛwɔ wall n'akyi a na sɛ Kofi ɛwɔ sen me a mɛyɛ dɛ mɛtwentwen me kɔn mu I'll try and make sure say me nso so me mpɛ sɛ Kofi bɛ narrate ne esi akyerɛ me because me pɛ sɛ me nso me hwɛ bi see it for myself nti dɛn na metumi ayɛ ana dɛn na Kofi bɛtumi ayɛ aboa me Kofi bɛkɔ akɔfa botan bi abɛsi hɔ ana ɔbɛkɔ akɔfa akonnwa ana ɔbɛkɔ akɔfa table bi abɛsi hɔ because ɔno no me ɔmpɛ sɛ me kasa wɔ Kofi fa me si akɔnkɔn na menhwɛ I will distract him nti no ɔkɔfa akonnwa na abena gyina akonnwa no so ne nyina yɛnyɛ dɛ yɛhwɛ that is equity. It is not equality. So when we come, na ye can, niyama say na ye. What about Black Queens? What about Black Stars? What about Black Queens? Yes. So what have you told the young women?
Mopa odi edru ha momra ye musika oho ye de bema mo.
Enya no be Kofi, I don't want to go through a lot of the things that happen behind the scenes. Musika wɔ hɔ a yɛmmra if the money was there and we were yɛayɛ allocations na ma wɔn anka ɔmo ɛnkɔ Morocco ma ɛma mɛte atua sɛ mo amfa yɛ sika ama yɛn a yɛne Egypt anya dɛn ɛmmɔ ansana we all know the things that happen. Some of the things happen but nobody wants to talk about it publicly. That is one. Number two, sika na yɛde ma wɔn kra no ɛyɛ nkrɔfo bebree sɛ ɛyɛ sika ɛdɔ ɔso ama. It was for the whole qualifying from that to the Morocco tournament. Yɛka yɛyɛ a yɛde ma wɔn no Black Queens foɔ ne pɛ ne yɛde ma wɔn technical committee technical team na ɛka ho ma ɔmo kɔboa doctor foɔ ne coaches ne nneɛma na ɔmo hwɛ ma ɔmo no minim sɛ yɛde ɛyi Kim Last de ama na. But Ghana for no more count. Ghana for more making up of the technical team, the medics and all the other people. But if that allocation is there, why should anybody struggle?
So no ena Rosalind amo eka ena no pe ma menkwa homane so na ye ni Owura Kojo Adai Mensa entwetwe enkomo oye CEO Edema Data Bank oye Liverpool die hard Liverpool fan season way eniema enko yie kura osan ye kotokoni mapa Blasters de odo Blasters papa enti ene o hye eche bebre mesan ebusa no committee a appointee coach Otuado no na okasa committee ni ho enti ene mebusa no Otuado minimum views about Otuado after AFCON qualifiers mebusa ni views about Otuado after the World Cup qualifiers. Mr. Adai Mensa me mo akwaba e de badwumadi so.
Me da se pa mi che obia na minim se Rosie beba studio anka me ba studio obi o.
Oh sir.
Oh minim se Rosie be wo studio anka me join in ododo. Na se Rosie do my studio partner. Hey. Living sister.
Oh
any paying pa minim se obeba studio anka me mia me ni aba studio pa.
Oh any me dis o na sa no pe tem me dey fly an se no na nka emre o mu na nka betimi aba na.
That na minim se ono so be virtual se mia.
Oh any sorry.
Minim se Rosie to say.
Nyanga do mo ye ma feel yenye ni nhia.
I say eja almost some BB Islamic games binti baby anka yeta hia no suspended for now.
Bia ye be hia.
I no correct. Prince of person me ho kire me. Anyway, meet you.
Okay. Now mami Musa o say menti views about sports minister Owura Kofi Adams. Ye ka say rating over 10 oba ye ka say rating over 10 obe rating is saying
too early.
Oh, sir.
Too early. Too early. Now, my Nankasa no, what, 11 months? And Kofi was appointed, I can't remember, maybe March.
I think, sir, Okone vetting sometime April, baby.
Yeah, it's too early. Now, corporate world, Kayama probation, it's too early.
Okay.
Yeah,
Media no ebema media no knowing who you are media no ebema sir. Na mami Musa after AFCON qualifiers okay say Otuado onye fit for purpose enti nkebe ya ye man nko na nka ye mpe obi foforo wo hwe Otuado obo AFCON ni Otuado obo World Cup qualifiers here. How do you juxtapose the two?
Abia meda ho dwen ho saa And unim say na me rationalize no. Me rationalize ne say players no so ka ho. Sa na me hu no. Because the same Otoado. Hello.
Me pacho me wa hayeti.
The same Otoado. The same players, literally. I mean, a few changes. Even opposition, I see our World Cup qualifier. I mean, feel say it was even tougher than CAF qualifier, AFCON qualifier. You know, with the likes of Mali near there. And so, on the World Cup, almost flawless. But AFCON there, Troka. And my dream was, me say players ne count. Only ninety make us say players ne count. On time, you know, as I say, CAF sign tribute. AFCON time, you know, bad. It is very bad. So say your players, no, almost all of them are commanding first team places. League, clubs. December, hono. AFCON are young protective players. AFCON December. In fact, December no cry. Utumu say CAF are forcing say they share European winter break. Hono they force share. England are suspending winter break. But Germany will have a winter break. Italy will have a winter break. Into to me say they are forcing to push it to coincide with the winter break. But they have to take it to summer. As I say, AFCON, you signed the Kosara Dena, you cannot. As I say, you guys and Nsio Tower Hana. No, because players no person no be pra. Their friendlies, even normal friendlies, Kraheni Akusi.
Na sekwajo eno de enye ye players nko na beba AFCON the other players are nations are players in Europe.
Motivation wo de be World Cup no different from motivation or they call AFCON. Here obi say Mo Salah main motivation or person about AFCON is say he's going to be probably one of Egypt's captain, longest serving captain, not to have lifted the AFCON.
Sure.
As captain, it is his motivation. No question, yes, other players, but other countries' motivation as Sudan war our person they call AFCON no. And yeah, no be na Ghana. Ghana player no World Cup no ahead of the AFCON, which his legs will not be protected, and he's going to probably lose his slot in his team. Look at our players; they are all first team players: Kudus, Semenyo, Gideon, Chiku. Inaki, mention them, they are all starters. And high risk. Maybe I think they should relook at the timing of the AFCON. Because me dream one the same players and the same coach, the same technical team. And the AFCON qualifier was a disaster. But the World Cup qualifier was almost flawless. They didn't lose a game.
No.
And the Otto, they didn't lose a game and scored 5 goals in 2 matches. Now, but depending on time, I'm not 5 goals twice. In one group match, in one group qualifier. Has it even happened? Kwesi Appiah beat Egypt 6-1. It was one of. These people scored 5 goals in 2 games, irrespective of the opposition. And to me, no, honestly, my dream one, me feel say, players but
the motivation now the motivation for in our case your players should be say 43 years in AFCON and no enough motivation for them to want to go.
That is for the fans. To say obi to say friends who say Ghana for AFCON that
me pacho 82 me who been pacho me pacho hey disclaimer me pacho 82 me who me pacho
I grant you that but that motivation is more on the fan side. Boys no clubs no bon everybody is talking about the World Cup in the dressing room. In June, Obia Kran in Yonkwa, Obeka see you in the US. Are you going to go to the World Cup? Have you played the World Cup before? Hey, your World Cup. I be the pele may one this one papa da. And I would ball one call World Cup. No more this no. You know, and more and more, no, the World Cup is even becoming more lucrative for the football federations than the AFCON. And even now, becoming more lucrative for the clubs. Who himself to say, one more qualifiers, Mediema is laughing all the way to the bank.
Sure.
Folk is laughing all the way to the bank.
club biya ni player ebo qualifiers ni biya enye sika.
Thank you. What will you prioritize? Will you prioritize an AFCON Fashimba? The high risk. Morocco and not say call some plays via facilities in yet top notch. We are players, he say women are about top clubs. Semenyo is in Bournemouth, Kudus is in first.
Tottenham, first team,
one of the best stadia in the world.
Yeah.
They have one of the best in the world.
Top notch training facilities.
Exactly. You know, look at Sibo is in Spain, Jiku is in Russia, Gideon is in France. Boyo Praye, France, Toulouse,
yeah.
You know,
Francis Abu.
So why will he risk to come to an AFCON tournament that will not add as much to his CV?
So, completely, World Cup, any AFCON qualifiers, two different teams, and as players, any who So, but Crawford said Otuado, the away in terms of World Cup qualifiers still are Unyamwa and Yako World Cup no see a Pemwa only Sanko for the Yadrin.
M1 why Yamwa? Everybody Yamwa. It is a Mwabi baby a bit to me by Buana. Let's do it. I don't disagree. World Cup qualifiers say yes, small tweak. Even at management team level, and I did Randy by Meboa. Yeah, there was a tweak. Shefa is a tweak. You know, we've added Asamoah and Apia. It's Mwabia as a country here. As I say, you on board because level I a different level. And one say Wakobida. I mean, and he's going to be the first coach to go back to back in Ghana's history. He's that statistics, World Cup statistics in the OSHA. It is very difficult to criticize. But let's bring it. Whoever we can bring, I'm on record to have said, even for this short period, let's get somebody just for the next 6 months. You're contracting it big time money to support. And I've mentioned people like everybody mentions Rene Harvey, yes, but I've even mentioned Pizzo. Pizzo too could we can bring
Pizzo Musimani.
Even in the form of scouting. Scouting a big deal. We should bring it on board as long as we can afford it. You can't be a free Sikasem. Sikasem so na Rosity or Sikasem. Even Sikasem.
No, but what I'm saying is my focus, they are called to draw a budget, budget move for 2026. And so it makes it look like, it's the topmost priority as against all the other things.
All the others.
But I can say, I will say a jai sad because any here attention and here and I say I know and here no Black Stars as some me. I am not saying say we shouldn't. We need to plan, manage it well, and make sure say effectively here. But what about all the other things? Did we need to single out the Black Stars? That is my point.
That I agree. In the allocation page, he needn't have singled it out. There's a ballpark budget sitting under the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, and I see National Sports Authority there. We could have left it at that. In the allocation page towards the end of the budget, he needn't have singled it out. It has brought out this conversation we are having. Obia Ebisa na Black Queens and omukoya medal there and na parliament and drew on my friend but they drew budget there mambo mudi. You get me? It is now bringing all these sentiments. You know, Black Queens one will prepare the next AFCON is a World Cup qualifier. How about the princesses? How about Obia Ebisa arm wrestling floor beba? Basketball for Beba Nansea Spintex team. No, they went trying to qualify for BAL Africa. It didn't happen. You know, he needn't have singled that 150 out. I know it has triggered this conversation.
Yes, but Kojo, yes, Metiwasio, but it will be unpardonable, really. Say the finance minister be call parliament. Now you have World Cup next year. Now one mention say Ghana World Cup. Therefore, this is the allocation.
No. In the budget, if you've read it, Obo Mabaso, Eka said it is the spirit of the nation, and they've qualified, they've done well, and the nation is behind them. That is where you end it. There's a figure sitting within the sports budget allocation. Then you end it there, rather than create this. Anyway, we're creating content, Amamo, but it's needless. It's quite needless, at this point in time, and it's so avoid this again. Because yeah, Obian himself Black Star who sikasem is a problem. Once you bring it up, people start talking. But you cannot tell me that Black Queens will not be allocated money for their qualifier for the AFCON. They will. They will be giving money. Princesses will be giving money. Maidens will be giving money. The 17 will be giving money. And the 20 will be giving money. you get me? The hockey people will be giving money. And now me call prisons, now police, prisons, training basketball. If they qualify, they will be giving money. Yes, the Black Star is our flagship. He mentioned it. And I agree with everything he said in the budget. But he needn't have brought out the allocation statement, whichever paragraph it was. I don't pay one tikra masa kind budget.
What's that kind budget? But Mami Musa say, "Ushe allocation no yema the Blasters World Cup na plus
preparation no.
There be o. A World Cup no almost plus $30 million no.
Okay.
Preparation and participation at the World Cup. Yes, and not 150 million Ghana cedis. 150 million. No. But Crawford say World Cup no by qualifying no unya bear 15 million. Now say 15 million no emu no o the 13 and preparation akọ participating. What then happens to the Becca no then now the bear because Crawford esusu say World Cup ayako nyina there is nothing to show for. Say this will be our faith World Cup, be a legacy project be anywhere. We can point and say a World Cup ayako no. Sika yenya no we near the year, but 15 million now will be nyano. Udiemu plus 13 million and participating.
Being the equivalent of the 150 million. No?
Yes, equivalent of the 150 million. No? Yes, of 150 million Ghana cedis. No, almost plus 30 million dollars.
Yes. Well, it's possible to say, yes, a difference, but the rest should be infrastructure, and the assumption sometimes is that when you invest that kind of money and we go to the World Cup, there are other benefits that come through. What we don't do well is being able to quantify those benefits. We don't quantify those benefits. It puts Ghana on the international map. It makes people come looking at Ghana again. The kind of talent that people will come and scout here, the exporting of the players and the kind of revenues and our transfer. Because your players they send money through. So sometimes we do not measure it well. Then kind of try, face value. 50 million, 30 million spent, 2 million remaining. What did you do with the 2 million? No, there are more benefits that come through. We get different content to create programs. TV is coming, the game is developing, players are getting interested, they get contracts, they go abroad, they send money. There's so much benefit that comes for a country that actually qualifies to the World Cup, and your name is there. Everybody is mentioning Curacao. Did you know about Curacao? Did you know there was a country called Curacao?
Because of a Juma Ghana for de
Curacao. But now they know, and their tourism is going to shoot up. You will see. It's a beautiful island country. What is it doing to Haiti? Everybody thinks about Haiti negatively, and I Haiti their war on it. But look, they've qualified for the World Cup, and it is a positive twist on the country. We need to also challenge our economists and our statisticians to try and quantify the benefit that it comes to the country in terms of even the GDP growth of qualifying to the World Cup. Charlie, World Cup, the benefit it brings is enormous. Even one crowd, they end up sending money to their families. They change it. It changes people's standard of living.
Omo mano.
Pato akonya na otimu no akwana na ho no mi hia no papa.
Oh school US. Oh yeah obeba. Oh school US yeah obeba.
But on a more serious note, yeah face value analysis do. We need to go deeper. I don't have the skill set or the time to be able to do that, but we need to go deeper to really enumerate the benefits of qualifying to the World Cup and what it does to the GDP of a country.
Okay, Kwajo, Mami Musa said our approach to preparation and participation this time around, what should change? Yen say you call 2014 the Koba the yen kan ho asem yentimi an qualify 2018 yentimi call 2022 yes it e group stage this time around the preparation and the approach should be as what?
No, not you can't do much different right now because of the regimented FIFA windows. The NCC bamum NCC yamasika sem ekose atmosphere or camp. I mean, 2014 lesson there. I hope it will never ever happen again. So that one is a constant. We should not and say ebam. But otherwise, in terms of preparation, to say I regimented. To me, boys not together bioma till March. In Kiran Cup say I boy. Me, I thought it was a good exercise. Only some results in the many but it was a good exercise. And Kwabne do obi ebo ni din say. And can you Kiran Cup ya? And can say who Kwabne do inti unfortunately very, very restricted. Inti na one no more can say my photo no problem. Say the new coach Kraba. Not many games na new coach Ibenya are obeshe players. It's just 2 matches in March. And then when Europe season ends, you probably get another 2 matches just before the World Cup. And we are going, unfortunately, we don't have too much time. But the exercise, we need to keep scouting for players who will be willing to play for Ghana. But your players will and we need to scout them more and more and more and discover because we need to take our best. And to say they are best. When one qualify a penna a couple tournament, a minimum budget qualification, a minimum tournament, so it happens everywhere in the world. Scouting, as I say, very, very top-notch scouting. Me say, he reminded me of Samajan immediately.
Yeah,
the composure he showed.
Ne said the ultimate ben finfin be jibo ni bi.
It was fantastic. Kind of Samajan at once. It shows that something also good is happening in the scouting department of the team, and we need to strengthen. Because sometimes, naivety kakra with your team. We need to really. But in terms of preparation, say trial matches, friendly matches, and their hands are tied. I regimented. There were 2 games.
And bibi akyerese ye call World Cup local goalkeeper se hwiansesa between na kosi time we be call World Cup na goalkeeper Benjamin Asare of Accra Suffolk and Ghana number 1 CCA. True qualifiers, and Crawford say at the World Cup level, a different atmosphere altogether. Do you
different atmosphere and see cover Waimbra? Why the cover Waimbra? Different atmosphere na one who atmosphere no better than your experience. Atmosphere on cover I don't understand what people are saying. say different atmosphere nti yɛn kɔfa hwan.
Sɛ nka wonya obi a ebi a ɔwɔ Spain a ɔkɔ Santiago Bernabeu sɛdeɛ ɛhɔ tie dede.
Are you telling me that Walacott is better than Asare?
Me mo obi adin o, me mo odin.
And I'm pushing you.
Me create
Bernabeu, hwanya, te say hwanya. Goalkeeper Bernabeu, ana Anfield, ana say Nou Camp, ana San Siro.
Ana sɛ wa Anfield yi kura no ebi a goalkeeper bi wɔ England hɔ baabi na ɔhyɛ hɔ. Na Accra Asofo die ɔmo bɔ Accra Sports Stadium kura empty stadium ɛna ɔmo bɔ.
Ɛyɛ no kra but ɛno nti na yɛde ne call Brentford. Me na mo wɔ hɔ bi yɛde ne call Brentford na ɔkɔ bɔ friendly. Ɛno nti na yɛde ne call Korea ɛne Japan na wɔnya experience. Ni na yɛ exposure na yɛ kɔ no. Exposure na yɛ kɔ no. I don't just show me where, who. Just give me the alternative. You know, give me the alternative.
Bi almost scout on Benyabi. Almost scout on Benyabi. Almost scout ye.
On your combat, no to me prove it and say yes or yeah top notcher. Fine, no problem.
But for now, dear Benjamin Asare.
For now, Benjamin Asare. We don't have any other option, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Wow. The Onwane Ghana #1 at the World Cup.
For now.
Enti one Argentina ekoshia na Lionel Messi mu ne nkrofo egyina mu a Benjamin Asare ene dapo mu.
Pacho me bisa 3 times say give me another name.
Cristiano Ronaldo top form no gyina mu against Portugal. Benjamin Asare no dapo.
Benjamin onsrohe or confidence or true bebo.
Okay.
You see, when we say, oh, somebody doesn't have experience, and you know, experience, you get me. Sure. I'll give you the opportunity to grow here. That's a experience will be before France and Imagine.
Ansana wa
No.
Now, okay, ma yenwie we enkrofo make case for Ghanaian clubs. Almost coach Otuado 26 players now the bekono. Where be 20 and a bebo World Cup no proper. The akano anka fire local players, farmer clubs no. Yenyi bi free media ma yenyi bi free aduana yenyi bi na sikana beba no ebi nsomra. Sa stand sa suggestion no o ehifa na ogina.
Mijina take the best players from anywhere in the world. Ehona Mijina take the best players from anywhere in the world. Saturday night, I say we build the 20 players. No crew. Freak accidents can happen. 19 for 2 goalkeepers in tournament.
Yeah, the 3 is required.
If you had 19 now, the 3 echo.
Bibia betimi esi.
Enti Bibia also betimi esi into the 26 secondo. Enti take the best 26 from anywhere in the world. Now, Babe reserve it for local. Say okay. By default, you're reserved for local. Locally, you are 18 clubs in the Premier League. If I say you restrict to Premier League, 18 players. The criteria ben now they call kofa or mediama na onfa or bibiani. Criteria ben. Catch me criteria ben. A performance me boy.
Performance.
It has to be performance across the world. But I believe that a Ghanaian can go to the world or get a place in the World Cup squad on merit. And Calvin Wohui. Razak Simpson uncle.
Yeah.
I don't even know why he's not being called again. A beating in mind, Kakra. I just what's wrong with Razak Simpson?
I just say coaches in the betimi are responding.
One bit to me explain
Prince Owusu ewo media ma no kan o kan timu yi ho.
Yes. So why not? By merit. Omukwa obia complaining. People complaining because they've gone on merit. Now, Koye say we have reserved 5 places for local clubs. I feel there, in Central for na best start here. And because is the ESCO member inti yedini team ashim and I there no bo Heart of Lions inti Randy inti yedina shim and no kahuna babara man so on bebo because unfortunately for him no bo dreams. Zito say Tale friend the national team time old dreams encore because you be castle old dreams. Yan you be criticizing. So let's not go down that path. Yeah, you better criticize gidi.
ɛno na Jima Bedu say, look, prove yourself. My coach, a reason to pick you.
To pick you. That's it. So pick the best 26 from across the world. It's simple. And as we speak, Benjamin is our number one goalkeeper. Obi to me babe tuna. Ye na yebehu. That been the last time Black Star goalkeeper che penalty cra. And yes, I'll punch you.
Crap. Na say we cry almost see of reliance so cry VR or at the World Cup or kochi penalty we be say abone foforo. He will not be second time lucky.
Declining Kwabnedu goalie. VAR ya na declining. My entering watch ball no guna. Watch it like that. The last time a Black Star goalkeeper che penalty sir. One punch you.
Ochi kutaye pa.
Thank you.
Na afi de Liverpool no slot no ye slotty goals in man papa.
Kale ye Liverpool asem no ye in a prof for one na prof for studio.
Oti many.
Prof, a Dutch coach a Dutch coach syndrome. Now every day me hu na me say akoye o te say Van Gaal obey try analysis yes on fine ko baby but me hwe no because last season they wanye hwe
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Oh
no.
That any player he didn't tweak anything.
No,
but you were not using him.
But Kojo Waji was second Premier League title in 30 years.
Look, on record, he's the coach. It will be given. To say a Champions League now, you win in 2005. No, it was given to Benitez. But I'm telling you that Steven Gerrard did the halftime team talk. I'm telling you, it was Gerrard who did the halftime team talk, and they went in.
Fully blooded Liverpool man.
I'm telling you, now South Slot idiot. I mean, what for 5 players? 5, and he doesn't have a clue how he's deploying. What is going on? He's a Dutch coach. Dutch coaches have not. He's the first Dutch coach to have won the English Premier League, and that was a team set up by Klopp. He's now building his team. I want to see him properly win the EPL. Yeah, this coach, anyway, we'll see. I mean, how do we lose to United at Anfield with this team? How? And Kanka Maguire and Susan I couldn't sleep that night.
Lord Maguire. Kwajo, where your music to my ears? Lamentation when your music to my ears because I am a Manchester United.
I know.
So your music to my ears, pa.
But mo 32 years. I know they can assure. Yeah. Prince, my drawing. Say mo wa here. And 16. 16 and
counting. 16.
And 12.
16.
12.
12. Then koye 16.
Okay.
12 year then koye 16.
Every season, this coach has come. Oh, this one, Brendan Rodgers. Oh, Suarez, it will work. Yes, the course pass 30. Mobile 32 market.
And no, Kojo Adai Mensa, Medawasi pass and no pay a pro na.
Rosie Chalele.
Okay. Me yadase pa ya bepemre na squad ni nyina na yeshia na afi ya didi din komo. Asempa owo hoba wantimi ama ne ho mfa ne kakra. Enti wantimi ama mepacho yo miti na minimu se otie nso enti wate se wachia no pa owura Kojo Adamensa ene yete ne nka no yeda na se pass ye frɛ no ogie ye so enti Kojo nso ede ne dia ba Kojo feel say it was wrong on the part of the minister crass or ko kan say ye di sika we ato ho ede ama Blaster Jesse where
I share the same sentiment, but before I remember budget minister no last year or can't say you see, I think first he spoke about last year. He spoke about setting up the school sports authority. there was talk about the National Recreation Authority. If you look at these things, so normally when monies are allocated, and no chances Canada on TNCOFAO.
There be the Okoye no akojina the akoye.
There be the point is that they have allocated 200 million for
the ministry.
For sports infrastructure now. Three sports, But it doesn't mean that 200 million is there. The finance minister has projected these things on the basis of revenue Albania. It is a revenue buyer. So something like the Black Stars, Cock Show we will spend. But something like the 200 million, it depends on the inflows that will come. And that's why I'm giving the example about you can say the National School Sports or the School Sports Authority, because you needed money to set it up, get it running, you pay salaries, you do those things. Because those monies were not available, we didn't do it. The recreation, the national, or is it the National Recreation Authority or whatever it is? We wanted to create that, but because the allocation was not made available primarily on the basis revenue Minister of Finance or expecting for that particular ensuing year then he will now begin to cut his costs, his losses. And these things are say 200 million for 3 stadiums, and don't say we realize it. It is based on Sika Obinya, based on revenue obe making, and no obeka say revenue say na menya, and Minister of Sports monji 200. So when you exact revenue na sa 200 million enko. And yes, very very important for this initial comment is very very important. Now the infrastructure or wakase over there, I'm a bit
3 mini a year.
Yes, so
stadium.
So what has happened to the Yeshas?
There were various stages of completion.
So are we going to complete it? Or is there any plan to say we are going to complete Kalishi Sports Complex?
No, we or see new ones.
So it means that we have to be interested. We have to be interested to ask the question, say, the ones that were started what is the current state? Is there commitment to finish? It's important. Is there commitment to finish Azuma Nelson Sports Complex? Is there commitment? Is there commitment to finish the other ones that were started by the previous government, which have not been completed? Is there commitment to finish? Very important for us to know, so that because if you haven't finished the ones that were started, why do you start a new one? Why don't you put that 200 million into finishing the other ones? The ones which have started and are at various stages of completion. Now can we finish it? Then you could start a new thing. Now, because really, what it will mean is that say I'm finishes now. It means aka. And that will be problematic for Division 2 needs other clubs now and Azuma Nelson Sports Company use that facility. They obviously football will be disturbed over there because of course
Azuma Honda
because around that vicinity, what am I saying? And I know for a fact, say, because the MP built a certain AstroTurf, a lot of the AstroTurf is being overused because women football, fit ladies. The last time I call a games or immediately after a games, there was fit ladies played a game there. So other pressure alcohol. Sa facility na MP the former MP no eye ma omo no ama pressure koso senka yeah, share the Eniashe Azuma Nelson, and see, we have named that complex after an icon.
Azuma Nelson.
It's a shame. Say, you best project be as you na yenwie. Na enti papa ni din anim. Enye fe. Enti for me, once again, the minister, because we blame sports, blame finance minister. You blame sports minister because on your budget decoy.
Yeah.
Enti other no be budget. I call for 3 new stadia. Other multi purpose.
So anya the priority.
But it has to be his priority. It is for us to bring attention on it. Say maybe if we have to raise that, alarm. I mean, we have to raise that point for him to probably come and answer. It's important. I'm not saying say we shouldn't start new projects. No, it's good. But when it is that projects are
it be 85% complete, it be 90%, it be 75. Any adin now.
And where is the commitment to finish? And as a minister, and back of Pesca every baby. Now, sports minister no on one kasa back of Pesca every baby. Eddie akako complete projects nana. It's important. It's important to find out. But look.
Just hold on. Na many rules in you. Obeko baby.
Okay, very well.
Yes, obeko baby.
Why not?
Many conclude na fi.
Enka
no me no. Esan say Owura Charles say sibi kura so beba homa ne so.
Sure.
No so ye ne no edi nkomo. Enti yenwie on the need for say ye be share Black Queens yi na yetimi qualify edi akọ World Cup. Na fi yenya bibi kakra wo man league no. Ashase
Prince mihu time you qualify for your first women's AFCON 1997 October November 1997 for the WAFCON in Abeokuta 1998 Nigeria. That was when FIFA through CAF decided to say more World Cup qualifiers into women's AFCON no. And when I had the World Cup qualifiers, I saw the preparation. I saw everything. I can say now everybody or the FA because apart from say Eddie no nyamshe ebe magana no obeji atumu so say sa current administration na yenua be market okekuda no oma ye ne omo peso omo ye bia se ne be ya ma football no beji hini naji din sense ne omo beto no. Unfortunately omo ba ye nso so no omo penso no ye national teams ni bia ni ho no mo a ayere wo ho aye ade akwakoje abasobode bia enti no ase Black Queens no and the first team akwakoje bronze abre won enti no ni omo peso omo ye bia no mo de bema ne me pese tiefo ene empanyufo omo di yanimu no ti ase ne se obi an time Black Stars nemum ye ne se ne ebesi aye no ene be ma nkrofo eni ano akom ho say Kwadwo can be about sentiments, and that is how we lose because say washa say omo bobol no na say ebia genuinely obi ye mfumso okra na bon fun we na ye de 150 million ama mo say mo fancy mo ho. You see where I'm coming from. The sentiments and it's happened in Brazil. And you know yensua de enfim say na be ya ye koye ni mo no. And I think say emema hu hia emanso hu hia if our duty bearers cannot give equal recognition, the best thing is that you generalize it. Mema munyina mo yade ye behwe se obia ne esefata obia ne be den ye de be ma into no ye kwaye nim. I think we should take note. Number 2, enye bibia na se ye kan ni o twa sanonim se na chiachia enti ye be kan na no nche se sebe ye mpese adwuma ne be koso because a few times you say things and people take it personal and it attracts kinds of attacks and unnecessary things. You may be what my say make me say positive vibe, you know. I don't dwell on those things. I won't even banter with you. I speak my opinion respectfully with my facts, and then I move on.
No, but what the minister posted about you, will reach out to you.
Well, he apologized on the. I don't want to even bring it here. I don't want us to. I don't want to bring it here. But a few things. I hope say next time no. Obefre na yaka yedi 2026 near me da yenim ne ho nkomo, because Prince Media Black Queens, we will go. They will prepare them well. I have no doubt about it. But because they've gone to see the best. Omahu, how people are preparing. This AFCON, and don't forget, it is a World Cup AFCON. So, Obia Beba coming into playoffs. Nobody wants to be involved in any playoff. Everybody wants to go through. Look at what has happened to Nigeria with the playoff. Obia no one more person.
You can't guarantee it.
Yes. And so, no funny say, if you want to go through the top four, say, World Cup, the top four in Morocco 2024. Say 2024 Women's AFCON, and you're born on this year. And the top four in that, and Ghana or the Black Queens will be World Cup.
The World Cup, yeah.
And then I was here. We've seen what it takes. South Africa have learned their mistakes. But I always say, South Africa, you show them 100 times. You better show them 100 times. Morocco, the next time we meet them, we will beat them. Nigeria may always pose the trouble, but even Nigerian, it has always been psychological. If we get them and the confidence is there, I don't see why anybody should stamp in the way. And like somebody, I remember the late Kochade and Afrani, who handled the Black Queens to the first World Cup, or say, so the shower dream, that is you are even defeated before you lace your boots and got onto the pitch. And so no sanya money and I won't talk about it because minim say if we don't do it, then we have ourselves to blame, because yenim nia wase nia wase yenim nia wase se yanya and yenye obi ne kumentri boys yakwa no dignity akwaji a mama.
No, but now you're involved with a African game. Do you think say what a African Athletics Championship now akwaji no? You think we can execute that project?
It is a smaller form of the African Games. Many Americans say, we shall see a brew, a dry tema, and a when koko. As we speak right now, there has not been, I don't know what is going on behind the scenes. You don't have a local organizing committee. And from what I see, the championships will probably come on in May, because 2026 is a World Cup year. June, July is World Cup. Nobody wants to compete for media attention when it comes to the World Cup. That is one.
Maybe after
World Cup, we are all Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
If you Commonwealth Games now, the top stars will not come, because after all, they would use the African Athletics Championships as one of the preparations for the Commonwealth Games. It's the first outdoor game after the indoor season. And he said, after September, October, that is when you want to have the Athletics Championships. Says so athletes top star no top star. Even your own top stars may not come. And for me, let's say that we have between now and May to.
You don't have local organizing committee. You are thinking of May. From now to May is just how many months?
So Prince, that is what I'm saying,
6 months or 7 months.
After all the things I have seen in our organization of the 1999 African Youth Championships, the 2000 AFCON, the 2002 co-hosting, 2008, and then
African Games 2023.
Women's WAFCON 2018, and then this one is like last minute at the so that is where people will.
No, but so frame last minute. So I'm back
Prince.
The
last Debbie, it is for me. You would want to step in and help save the nation, woman from embarrassment, because Obiba Rose now I had na we I say, and on the two occasions that I was deeply involved, the 2018. 2008, in fact, 2008, I was given the opportunity to step in and go and help. I went to Tamale and spent all the time during the AFCON in Tamale until the qualifiers in Tamale. I mean, the group stages ended, and then I had to come to Accra. Niame can say, but we don't plan. Now, I'm planning here. Obey there, I executing here, and to be on say 10 biano, na bibia ya memnefe. Bibia ya memnefe, because look, let me give you a classic example of the 2013 African Games. Look at the time we set up the media center.
2023 now, okay.
2023. Time I set it now 3 days. 3 days. I started competition. You know, many workers and foreign journalists had started coming in.
I remember when we visited you.
Usually when you are having such competitions, the facility should be ready like 3-4 months. You run everything, and then a week to it, you start operationalizing your key areas, like the media center, because there will be journalists who would come in earlier and everything. You know what happens? When it happens like that, you know what it happens. It means that you give people to inflate budgets, because someone planning say I was say and I am only hoping say Myanmar you see for 2023 African Games, you know, they are still there. You bet to me a UC for African Athletics Championships, the same media center and everything. That is one. Number two, how are we protecting the pitch? Because a lot of activities are going on there now. Obi friendly games. No, wako me call stadium, University of Ghana Stadium. Me obi yabo matches woho. How are we protecting
the tracks
and the pitch? Because pitch, you know, mind you, it is not for football. It is for the field events.
For field events.
How are we preparing it? And I mean, you call me to tell me whether I'm wrong or I'm right or wrong. I am saying that looking at the schedule, if we want to avoid all the clashes of the international calendar, we may have to host the athletics championships, African Athletics Championships, in May, going into early June. Anything apart from that, it means that you are looking at October. Would that be prudent when it comes to athletics?
You won't get your top athletes.
Because the World Athletics really is also going on. So it's a very tight schedule. And it happens when you don't have technical people to have the calendar plan out and know, said, this is what we are doing. We've been, Yako Cameroon by how many months? We should, Yako by no. It doesn't matter.
Cameroon organization be Ghana.
Nobody would come because Cameroon was horrible.
They want the same organization here in Ghana.
You know, everybody is coming to Ghana because they saw what we did with the African Games.
Yeah.
They were excited. They were happy. What are we going to do? If we are going to host the students, the athletes in Legon like we did, have we sorted it out with University of Ghana so to ensure, say, the hostel facilities will be available, or we are doing it at a time when school will be in section and then the school will be compelled to go on a break? These are things that and I was a maker. But say, I mean, and I always say, and kasana yepe, but ye pesa mine every time you are called in, people are called in the last minute to come and salvage the situation. It's not the pleasant of things. And I think so with our history of organizing activities, we can do better than we've done so far.
Eno Era Rosalind Amo and out in Kano, Nene Madi, me yes, me bobo subi mua, a merekra ebeko Eddie Jay. Enti, Yadinibesia, Bibinti, unmuseni, you madoso.